Hayao Miyazaki is a creative who I greatly admire. I mean, my favourite film is Whisper of the Heart, one of the Ghibli films about a young girl, Shizuku, who desperately wants to become a novelist but procrastinates like crazy and then has a breakdown because she doesn't think it's good enough, and I've had many experiences about that. But he is a screenwriter, someone who works exclusively in animation and tells incredible stories. And I am someone who also wants to be a screenwriter. I mean, for my dissertation for my master's, I'm currently working on a coming-of-age comedy, something very different to what Miyazaki does, although the coming of age is very much his forte. But it is live action, it is about teenagers from Scotland. I won't tell too much about it, but I need to finish this draft. So I thought, who better to look at the routine of than a renowned screenwriter who comes up with so many incredible stories, and try and see if I can follow his routine for a day or two, because I've looked at the routine, it is a lot, and see whether or not following his methods can help me finish the first draft of my script. So, for this video, I will be following the Miyazaki method. Let me break it down for you. So Miyazaki, he wakes up at 6 a.m. in the morning, and for about 3 hours does some exercises, does his morning routine, and then at 9 a.m. he gets to work. And he works straight through to 3 p.m. in the afternoon, because, as he says in one of the articles that I found, he finds that if he eats, he gets sleepy, so he tries to do it as late as possible. So at 3 p.m. is when I will finally get to have lunch. He then works again up until 9 p.m. because he promised his wife he would stop working so late. So from tomorrow, I will be following this routine for a day or two, basically just to try and finish this draft of mine. And I'm going to see how well it works for me. Maybe I will end up actually liking this routine, though hopefully I may reduce a little bit of it, because I do not think I could keep up not eating for an extended period of time. I love my food. But yes, follow me on this journey as I document how I go through this routine and how well I do with it. Fingers crossed for me, here is the Miyazaki method. And almost immediately, I run into my first problem of the day. It was 8:10. I'd walked for about an hour in the pouring rain, and I thought, great, I'll be able to get into a building, I'll be able to warm up, and I'll be able to start work sooner, so maybe I can have lunch sooner as well. But no, the Bodleian doesn't open until 9. And nowhere opens until 9. So I'd walked around town for about 45 minutes, stopped at a bookshop and saw all the Ghibli stuff there. But yeah, nothing was open until 9 a.m, same as the Bodleian. But eventually it did open and I was able to go in and find my spot. But it did take a long while and I was very exhausted. But at least the Bodleian was really, really pretty, and I was very excited to start working there and just being there in general, because the views were incredible to work with. So it worked out in the end, even if I was exhausted. At this point, my stomach was growling so much, so I headed home. I made sure to do a little bit more walking as well, so I was stretching my legs and doing the exercise that I needed. But I was also intending to get right back to work the moment I returned home to finish the 12 hours. So yesterday I tried the Miyazaki method, which is basically almost working 12 hours straight and having gone up 3 hours before working. And I did it at the Bodleian Library. It was an incredible experience. It's my first time going to actually work in that library. And I got a lot done. I managed to get all the way up to the climax point, which is about 50 pages in. I've probably maybe about 20 pages, well, not the climax point, but the big conflict, the break apart of the group. And I am really, really happy with how that amount of work added up. I do not think I will be continuing the Miyazaki method because I did not do it completely yesterday either, because I did not work for the full 12 hours. I did the 6 hours until 3 p.m. Well, not even to 3 p.m. I got to 20 past 2 and my stomach would not shut up in the library. I was like, no, I think I need to take a break now. So I left, went home, had some food. Well, actually I had a lunchbox with me, but you're not allowed to eat in the Bodleian, so I ate my lunchbox, the lunch in my lunchbox at the bus stop before heading home, and worked a little bit more when I did get back, but I did not do the full 12 hours, but I did enough to feel accomplished. And while I don't think I'm going to continue the Miyazaki method, doing it got me to go work in the Bodleian Library, which I think is what I'm going to do until, you know, my card runs out, because it's only connected to my university. But it was a really fun experience seeing, you know, how much I could do when I am forcing myself to do it in that period of time without food. I didn't realise how much a distraction it is being somewhere where I can get food so often. Well, I did, because I eat a lot. I love my food, I've told this already. But moving away from somewhere where I can't eat for 6 hours, basically, and doing the hour-long walk to the Bodleian from my mum's work as well, just kind of, it got me energized, even if it wasn't the boring rate. I don't know, it was fun, and I think it is going to push me to have more chances of just removing myself from the temptations of distraction more often. So though I'm not going to do the Miyazaki method going forward, I am going to take some elements of it, like going into a different location to work, like what Miyazaki does, and focus as much as I can while doing it. So this was my video on trying out Hayao Miyazaki's creative method, and while I think it's mad, I can see why he gets quite a bit done, but I definitely cannot hack keeping this up, but it was fun. Thank you all for joining me for this video where I try out the Miyazaki method. Be sure to subscribe, check on my books, which I'll link down below, and all that good stuff. So thank you, and I'll see you all next time.